That shouldn't surprise any of us. But they went in there and absolutely obliterated the Connecticut Sun tonight. Caitlin Clark, big-time double-double. And before the game, Sophie Cunningham was asked about her comments that she made where she stood up for women's sports.
Have you ever seen one reckless moment completely destroy an entire team's night? Because that's exactly what happened. There's one rule every professional team understands. You never give a superstar an extra reason to dominate. And if that superstar is Caitlin Clark, the consequences can be unforgettable. What unfolded between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun wasn't just another regular season matchup. It quickly turned into one of the most emotional, physical, and talked about games of the season. What began as a celebration of a historic achievement ended with Connecticut facing a nightmare they never saw coming. By the final buzzer, one message echoed across the WNBA. When you cross the line against one of Indiana's biggest leaders, don't be surprised if Caitlin Clark responds in spectacular fashion. But before we break down everything that happened on the court, we need to go back to the incredible atmosphere before tip-off, because the story actually began hours before the game even started.
That I don't normally do. Not that you did a great job coaching, that you did a great job of getting the hell out of Caitlin Clark's way today. When the GOAT has the ball in her hands, there's nothing anybody can do. This was a masterclass. This is why she is the best show in the business. Must-see television. Caitlin Clark put on an absolute dominant performance versus the Connecticut Sun. 27 points, 11 assists in just 27 minutes. Indiana Fever beat the absolute dog crap, beat the brakes off the Connecticut Sun, 123-88, 70 points in the.
The energy inside the arena was unlike anything fans had experienced all season. Every seat was filled, every camera was focused on one player, and social media was exploding with excitement. Just hours before the game, Caitlin Clark made history once again. She was officially announced as the global cover athlete for the NBA 2K27 Deluxe Edition, becoming the first WNBA player ever to receive that honor on the franchise's worldwide cover. This wasn't simply another endorsement deal. It was another massive milestone that showed how far Clark's impact has reached beyond basketball. Indiana's players, coaches, and fans were celebrating the moment together. The building was packed with custom jerseys, homemade signs, and an atmosphere that felt closer to a playoff game than a regular season matchup. Everything pointed toward a memorable night. But while Indiana arrived ready to celebrate, Connecticut entered the arena with a completely different mindset. Instead of embracing the occasion, they appeared determined to spoil it. And that decision would soon change everything.
Athlete for NBA 2K27 Deluxe Edition. She's obsessed with the work. Pre-order NBA 2K27 now. I've taken a break from 2K. I haven't played 2K in the last 6 years. I'm not going to play. It's the same game, repackaged over and over again. But Caitlin Clark on the cover. Love to see it. Caitlin Clark on the cover. Absolutely loved it. This should have happened year one. This should have happened year two. But you know what? They're not just going to throw her on the WNBA edition like Angel Reese and Asia Wilson. She's not going to get a participation trophy like those two. Oh, yeah, here you go, WNBA edition. Oh, really, for me? Nah, see, don't worry, Caitlin. Don't worry. In 25, this is...
From the opening minutes, Connecticut made it clear they wanted a physical battle. Rather than allowing Indiana to play its fast-paced offensive game, they focused on disrupting the Fever's rhythm at every opportunity. Everyone in the league already knows how difficult it is to slow down Caitlin Clark when she finds her shooting range and starts creating opportunities for her teammates. Instead of attacking Indiana's offense directly, the attention shifted toward one of the Fever's toughest competitors, Sophie Cunningham. Then came the play that immediately grabbed everyone's attention. During a hard sequence, Cunningham was knocked to the floor after heavy contact that many fans believed crossed the line. Within seconds, the arena erupted. Fans reacted instantly, players rushed toward the action, and emotions on both sides began rising, whether intentional or not. That single moment completely changed the intensity of the game.
Cunningham, she's been getting praise from anybody with half a brain cell today. No doubt about it. Now, right here, double technicals for Sanaya Rivers and Caitlin Clark, who exchanged words after a Connecticut foul. That's 7 technicals for Caitlin Clark. One more, and she will be suspended. I hope they rescind this one because I thought it was complete bullshit. You see that score, 123-88. The Indiana Fever set a record for points in the first half of a game with 70 tonight. Wow. Yeah, and Caitlin Clark started this game fast. She never really took her foot off the pedal at all. And I got to tell you, if teammates could have made some shots, she might have had 16, 17, 18 assists tonight. There were a lot of shots missed on passes that she made directly to her teammate.
For a brief moment, the entire arena fell silent. Everyone watched as Sophie Cunningham remained on hardwood. Coaches looked concerned. Teammates stood frozen. Fans waited anxiously to see if she would get back up. But Cunningham showed exactly why she's respected across the league. Instead of staying down, she rose to her feet, brushed herself off, and walked back into the action without hesitation. That response energized the Fever bench. T fired up the crowd. And most importantly, it gave Caitlin Clark all the motivation she needed. From that moment forward, the momentum of the game completely shifted, and Connecticut was about to learn just how dangerous an inspired Indiana Fever team can become.
When they are playing in the CC style, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell are an unguardable backcourt. Kelsey Mitchell's passing the ball. The girl shoots at an efficient clip. Aaliyah Boston had 20 points, 20 minutes. I mean, damn, they beat the hell out the Connecticut Sun. Let's get a look at these GOAT highlights, please. Please. Let's get into these GOAT highlights, man. They can't stop CC.
Till up. People don't.
Let's take a look at these highlights, man. Caitlin Clark put on a show, loading up threes. First play of the game. Bang! Baghdad! First play of the game. Y'all can't stop her. Snatch back. Pull up from the parking lot. Pulled up from the parking lot. Where's $50 to park at? Getting into the lane. And one. You can't stop her. They ain't even call it. Reverse is too easy for Caitlin Clark. She's unguardable. Another 3. Baghdad. They can't stop her. She's pulling up. She's pulling up from Hawkeye Arena. What a pass to Aaliyah Boston, man. Caitlin Clark can't be stopped. If you think there's anybody as good as in basketball as Caitlin Clark, you're either drunk, on drugs, you're delusional, you need to check into a mental ward, something is wrong. Pump fake, step back, cash. This girl's unguardable, man. The girl's unguardable. She hit, 5 threes in the first half, coming off. Look at that pad. Bounce pass to Aaliyah Boston and one. The best pick and roll. That was.
But the biggest shift wasn't happening around Sophie Cunningham anymore. It was happening on Caitlin Clark's side of the floor. Officials rushed to calm the tension. Television cameras focused on Clark. The excitement that had surrounded her historic 2K27 announcement was gone. The smile fans had seen before tip-off had completely disappeared. Instead, Clark stood quietly, focused on the game ahead. She didn't argue with the referees. She didn't react emotionally. She simply locked in. From that moment, the entire pace of the game began to change. Indiana started playing with greater intensity, sharper execution, and relentless confidence. Every possession carried a sense of urgency, and Clark looked determined to answer everything on the scoreboard. She knocked down deep three-pointers with remarkable confidence, stretching Connecticut's defense farther than they were prepared for. Whenever defenders trapped her, she calmly found the open teammate. Whenever they switched coverage, she attacked the mismatch. Her passing became just as dangerous as her shooting, creating open looks all over the floor and forcing Connecticut into constant defensive adjustments. The Fever offense was moving at full speed, and Clark was controlling every possession like a floor general, completely in command of the game. As the minutes passed, frustration became visible on Connecticut's side. The defensive rotation slowed. Communication started breaking down. Momentum had completely shifted. Indiana wasn't simply winning, they were taking complete control.
Who appears on the Standard Edition, and former NBA MVP Derrick Rose, who was featured on the Ultra Edition, honoring his legendary career. The moment shows off another significant achievement for Clark, who has become one of the biggest faces in basketball since entering the WNBA. Caitlin Clark calls NBA 2K27 cover pretty surreal. Speaking with Bleacher Report after the announcement, Clark admitted receiving the cover honor was something she never imagined as a child. Quote, "It's pretty cool and pretty surreal," Clark said. "As a kid growing up, you're always watching to see who's going to be on the next cover of 2K. She also emphasized what the recognition means for women's basketball. Quote, "I think it's cool to see where the women's game is at this point too. People are getting excited about what the women's game can bring." Clark said she hopes seeing a WNBA player featured prominently in one of the world's most popular sports video games inspires the next generation of young athletes. Quote, "Hopefully young kids love it, and hopefully it can show a lot of young girls too about what they can achieve one day." The Fever guard also reflected on sharing the spotlight with Rose and Wembanyama, calling it an honor she doesn't take lightly. She revealed she first met with Rose while attending a basketball tournament in 7th grade and called Wembanyama one of her favorite NBA players, recalling that the Spurs star once gifted her a game-worn signed jersey that remains one of her favorite collectibles. Damn, they gave Sophie Cunningham a 78 in 2K? I want to see what that three-point percentage rating's looking like. I want to see what that three-point percentage is looking like. Okay.
When the final buzzer finally sounded, the scoreboard reflected just how dominant Indiana had been. 123-88, performance that immediately became one of the most talked about games of the season. Clark finished with an outstanding 27 points and 11 assists, recording another impressive double-double while leading the Fever on both ends of the floor. More importantly, she set the tone for her entire team. Indiana responded together. They played with energy, they defended each other, and they never allowed the emotions of the earlier incident to distract them from their goal. The victory sent a strong message across the league. The Fever are no longer just a talented young team, they're becoming one of the toughest groups to compete against. Every player contributed. Every possession mattered. And Clark once again showed why she's considered one of the game's most influential stars, combining elite scoring, playmaking, and leadership when her team needed it most.
7th technical foul because we got bums on the Connecticut Sun. Diamond Miller, you played a good game. You talking trash. You're down 30. You fouling Caitlin Clark after the whistle. When we walk into our benches for timeouts, you're still grabbing and fouling, all this stuff. You got Sanaya Rivers trash talking. You down 30. Look at the scoreboard. Caitlin Clark told her, look at the scoreboard, bum. Caitlin Clark gets a 7 technical. Check this out.
And the jawing continuing.
He told her, look at the scoreboard. You doing all that trash talking. Look at the scoreboard. Sanaya Rivers was the one starting all of that. Caitlin Clark gets a bogus 7 technical foul. Trash talking, and you down by 30. You down by 30, Sanaya Rivers. You look like a straight clown. Straight clown. You down by 30. You getting belt to ass, but you talking trash. That's why you're not good. That's why the Connecticut Sun stink. Like, it is what it is, man. Let's get into the stats for the Indiana Fever because they played a hell of a game. The big three was on point, man. Aaliyah Boston, 22 points, 10 of 14. With her 22 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds in just 20 minutes. Kelsey Mitchell, 9 of 16, 3 of 6 from 3. She had 23 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. Caitlin, the GOAT Clark, 27 points and 11 assists in just 27 minutes. Now, I'm telling you right now, if Caitlin Clark would have played in this fourth quarter, she would have had 40.
As the arena slowly emptied, one thing had become clear. What started as a night celebrating Caitlin Clark's historic NBA 2K27 cover announcement ended with another unforgettable performance on the court. Indiana walked away with both the victory and the momentum. Connecticut, meanwhile, was left searching for answers after a difficult night against one of the league's hottest teams. Whether fans remember this game for Clark's leadership, the emotional intensity, or the Fever's dominant performance, it will remain one of the season's biggest storylines. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for more WNBA updates, game analysis, and the biggest basketball stories as they happen.